you might want to call the police. Some really beautiful looking bikes. But hey, yeah, what do we know? I don't mind the bike. I quite like it when a designer takes a Dyson, a Vax, and an e-bike, Bushmaster. Now, really good news. Hey everyone, Andy from Singletrack magazine, and this is episode 2 of Newsdesk. This is our weekly roundup of all the small news bites from throughout the week. And today's first big news is from Trek. Now, if you visit the Trek website or their social media, you'll see that they're teasing something so big, they reckon it's going to be the biggest change to cycling for the past 30 years. Now, the only information we've got, or the only thing we can gather from their teaser image, is that it's something to do with a new fiber, perhaps an additive to carbon fiber, and there's various theories out there. Perhaps it's graphene that's going to be added to carbon fiber, perhaps it's a Kevlar weave that's going to be added to carbon fiber. Some people are even saying it might be flax, which is, I think, it's a hemp-based material. And in fact, Porsche and other motorsport companies have actually tried to use this material as well. So whatever they're going to announce is going to be pretty big news. We're going to find out about it on the 20th of March. Personally, I think it's going to be more to do with the road bike side of things, but you never know. It might be something to do with mountain bikes. Second piece of big news is from the Commensal 100% team. Now, if you visit their Instagram page, you'll see that they're over in San Remo in Italy now. Now, flicking through some of their images, you'll see that they're thanking various sponsors, and you'll see that they're thanking TRP. Now, we know that Commensal 100% are using the TRP brakes, but they're also using a TRP rear derailleur. We've seen this before in prototype guys, but what they're using looks like a final production-ready piece of kit. As you can see from the image, we've got a TRP rear derailleur. Now, this isn't the first time that we've seen a TRP rear mech, but it is the first time we've seen what looks like to be a production-ready sample. So looking at the image closely, you can see that we've got the name DH7 on there, which we assume is the model name. We assume it's a 7-speed rear mech, it's a short cage rear mech, and it's cable operated. No fancy hydraulics or electronics in there. Judging by the looks of this one, we'll assume that TRP could be ready to launch it sometime this year, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. All right, next piece of news is from Yorkshire, and it's from Carbon Wasp. Now, Carbon Wasp are a really interesting company because what they do is basically 3D print a frame or a component and then wrap it in carbon fiber. They make some really cool items, and they've actually been involved in some really interesting downhill prototypes over the years. Now, Carbon Wasp are actually developing their own full suspension bike at the moment. They have teased it in various images in the past, but we've got a new image today. It's got the yellow Carbon Wasp finish. We've got the Carbon Wasp decals on there. We can make out that it has Cane Creek forks. It looks like it's going to be like a single pivot driven by a linkage similar to a Transition or even a Trek. But so far, that's all we know for now. But it is quite exciting to see another UK-based manufacturer, especially one using carbon fiber. All right, another UK brand, Starling Cycles. Now, over the weekend, they posted up a really sad story, actually. One of their prototypes was stolen. It's sad, but it's kind of interesting and exciting at the same time because we know now that prototype was stainless steel, not titanium. So there was a bit of a rumor mill going on with that. We weren't sure if it's stainless steel or titanium. Now we know it's confirmed it's stainless steel. What's interesting is I am sure over the past few days, another image popped up on social media saying that the bike had been found, but now I go back and it's still stolen. So we're still not sure what's happened with that bike. So if you do see someone out there on a stainless steel Starling, and it's not Joe from Starling Bikes, you might want to call the police. Next piece of news, and we all know this week has been really good for some really beautiful looking bikes. And one of the best looking carbon bikes this week is not the Specialized, it is this. It's the BH Atom X Carbon. Just look at it. I mean, it's just amazing. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's a very interesting bike. This is the carbon fiber of the alloy bike that they've already had on sale for some time. You can see it's got a really strong looking head tube angle. I'm not sure what's going on there, but the reason behind that design is so you can drop the battery in the top tube and right down the down tube. BH have got some really interesting features and technology with this bike though. They actually ship this bike with a smart bracelet. So if you're wearing that smart bracelet, the bike will unlock and work for you. So that's kind of cool. It's a nice little bit of security feature. One really questionable piece about this, other than that front end, is the fact that the display is mounted right on the front of the stem and looks like it could easily be broken. But hey, yeah, what do we know? That's it. Another really beautiful bike, this is actually a really good looking bike, that was launched this week, is the Specialized Stumpjumper Evo Pro Carbon 27.5. Really long name for a pretty long bike. It's a really great looking machine. We've got that really long, low slack frame, the same geometry as their alloy bike, but it's all in carbon now. It uses a FACT 11M frame, which has a SWAT door underneath the bottle cage, so you can hide your baguette in there. We've got a SWAT Allen key in the steerer tube, a coil shock on the rear end, 150mm travel front and rear. Absolutely amazing bike. So fast, so quiet. Got to try one. If you ever get a chance to ride it, ride it. Another interesting bike this week is the Marmite Vision. Now, this is it's a really interesting. I don't mind the bike. I quite like it when a designer takes a Dyson, a Vax, and an e-bike and combines them together to create something new. But you guys obviously feel a bit offended by it. And over on the Singletrack website now, there are 24 comments and counting. So if you want to get involved in the love-hate for the Marin, head over there now. I personally think it's rather cool looking, and I believe I'm going to be testing it later in the year. It's got 150mm of travel front and rear, and this 27.5 version has actually had some things changed on it to stiffen up the back end, stop it from flexing about as much. Yeah, really weird looking and innovative, so let's see how it rides. Next bike is the Polski Bushmaster. Now, I'm not sure where Pol get their names from, but yeah, anyway, Bushmaster is quite an interesting one. Basically, what Pol have done is they've taken their Stamina, which is their 29er bike with 180mm travel front and rear, and they've just pared it down a little bit, made it a bit more lively, fun, and something that us mortal riders can ride. The Polski Bushmaster, I can't say it without laughing. The Bushmaster has 140mm travel front and rear. It has that same machined front triangle. So basically that front triangle is machined in two pieces, bonded together, bolted together, and you've got this really lovely looking front end. And the rear end kind of looks like the Evo Link back end. So I'm not sure if that can fold or not, but yeah, very cool looking bike. Very pricey, but really, really unique. Lovely looking thing. Okay, we've finished with bikes, we've finished with parts. But yeah, you want something to look at on Instagram, you want something to make you laugh when you're on social media, and I reckon you should check out John Gregory's Instagram feed. Now, John Gregory was the designer of Dirt Magazine, so he knows, he knows how to design and make some cool looking things. And if you look at his Instagram feed, there are some really, really funny and clever images on there. We've got like Hero Dirt, which is like a super piece of dirt. Some funny, this just funny stuff. I'm not going to explain it. Just head over there, follow him, check out his images. They're really, really good. And the last piece of news is really, really, really good news. It's Cecile Ravenel. Last week we announced, we mentioned that she'd had a massive accident and she'd had to have surgery in Nice. Obviously she's still not riding. It's a very, very serious accident, but the good news is she is up and about, as you can see in this post now. She's walking around. She is going to have to wear this neck brace for many, many weeks or months. We're not too sure, but it's just great to see that she's, she's alive. She's up and about. And yeah, there she is, smiling. So great. Anyway, that's it for today. That's all the news. There's no special breaking news at the end, I'm afraid. But tune in next week for Newsdesk 3. See you all soon. Goodbye.